100x experiment week number 2 is now complete. So for those of you who don't know, I've committed to increasing the volume of all of my marketing activities by 100x that of my previous performance for the next 30 days. Well, for the month of November. So let's take a look under the hood, see my metrics in full glorious transparency, and see how I have measured up so far. But first, we need a computer. So let's go. All right, we're at the computer, so you know what time it is. Let's go over some metrics. So you can see first category here, social post, 300 per week was the target, and I did 310. Nicely done, Jay, pat on the back. Speaking engagements and webinars, 9 per week was the target. I did 9, just squeaked by on that one. Ads, I have not begun running ads yet. I have retained Flytech, who is going to begin running paid social ads. And then once I have data, that will be added to this. But we're still getting the agreement squared away and getting everything off the grounds. Outreach section here, communications with strategic partners. My target was 50 per week, and I did 50. Probably did a few more actually than that, but it's okay. Referrals and strategic intros requested. My target was 15. Oof, I did not hit it. This is the second week in a row that this category I did not hit referrals and strategic intros. So because of that, I need to double up my efforts for these remaining 2 weeks to make up for lost time in the previous weeks. That's the hardest one too, by the way, I've noticed. Interestingly enough, this one is not time bound. So it doesn't really take much longer to request those referrals. It's just a matter of me not committing to the activity fully. It's tough to go to people and ask for help. But ultimately, if I want to prove to myself that I can follow through with this experiment, then I must do it. So we're going to see those numbers. I'll get back in the game next week. Promise you. All right, cold outreach lastly, 100 per month is the target, and I did 39 this week, which 100 per month, if you're tracking, is 24 per week. So I did hit the metric this week and even made up for last week. All right, so that's where the posts sit today. How has this actually translated? Has this brought in more lead flow? And the answer is yes. Okay, so you could see this first week brought in 4 leads, and these are all market qualified leads, meaning these individuals have an expressed or implied interest in actually purchasing Paragon Tech services. This second week brought in 5 additional leads. So if you remember back to when I started this experiment, I told you guys, being fully transparent and keeping everything above board, that I typically receive 3.3 leads on average per month. I am at 9 for the month, and we are only 2 weeks in. So is this too early to affirmatively say that this experiment has caused an increase in lead flow? I don't know. I mean, maybe. I've always been a skeptic. So I think we give it one more week, but the signs are all pointing in a very positive direction. And it seems to suggest that these small compounding actions are actually manifesting in a real, measurable way. But we'll see. So after next week, then I will be sold. So let's just take a look at a couple other quick metrics just for your own viewing pleasure. So here is YouTube. I have been, as a part of every social media post, dropping a link to my YouTube channel, and you can see as I started posting more content, November 1st is when we started. That's when the views exploded. 30,000 views this month with a total of 72 hours of watch time. And we've actually increased 24 new subscribers in this period of time. So I started this experiment with just 50 subscribers, and that took me 6 years to get 50. So in the last 2 weeks, I've done half of that. Interesting. If we go over to LinkedIn, you can see the performance for my content, and that's the similar story here. You know, November 1st comes around, and now the impressions explode. I'm 300% up on impressions versus the prior 28 days. If you want to look at engagements, like, shares, comments, then we are over 400% up. I mean, my previous performance is almost a flat line in comparison to the new performance. So if you are wondering if being more visible on LinkedIn, showing up, posting on average 7 to 8 times per day, if you're wondering if that's overkill, these data and metrics would suggest no. They would suggest that. If you look at audience, you can see new followers. We'll do the daily. We're steadily increasing in followers. I'll go to the past 28 days so you can see what that looks like. This is a steady stream of new followers, 13, 7, 6. So these signs tend to point towards this working. At least that's what it looks like initially. But there's the data. You take it as you will, and maybe with a couple grains of salt until, like I said, next week we should be able to have a more definitive answer. But there's been no downsides to this already. I've learned a lot about myself and my capacity to undertake a large volume of work and to just settle in and get it done. There's no running from it. There's no hiding from it. There's just me and the work. And the only thing that separates it from being done is my own ambition and dedication to the goal. I've met one of my biggest competitors, Debbie Foster. We had a very productive conversation, interesting, fun. We did a live stream. Other people got to join in on that. So that was great. And then I met some other folks who were industry friends of hers by proxy through this live stream. I mean, I can't see any downsides other than the lack of sleep. I mean, I'm averaging 3 hours. So, you know, although I have bumped that up to 3.5, it was just killing me every day. I had to also cut my workouts in half. So I've still committed to, I'm averaging about 4 to 5 workouts per week, but I'm only doing 30 minutes. That seems to be all I can fit in right now, just for a little extra information, a little extra data point. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Those are the data. That's the metrics. I will see you on the next one. Peace.